All right, what's going on? In the last 30 days with a partner I am partnered up with, we've had nearly 50% of every single customer we've acquired purchase again, which is ridiculously high. And the point of this video is going to be talking about how you can pretty much achieve this yourself, what was the thought process behind what we're doing, and how you can get your customers to spend more money at the end of the day with you because that's what we want, right? And for the most part, all of our money, like a lot of it comes really from the back end. You acquire the person, then you get the person to buy and spend more money with you more times, whether it's more money, more times. And all that really is by just giving them different kinds of offers, products, and things you could potentially sell the person. So I prepared here a little document of just some things I want to share, and we'll just get right into it. So the very first thing is, like I said, in the last 30 days, 49% of every single customer we've acquired, every new customer, they've purchased multiple times, raising our LTV, right? So there is an AOV, which is pretty much how much you make immediately off the front end. And then from that, we try to raise the LTV as much as possible within a 30-day period. So there is a window of, say, like the first day, how much someone spends with us, a 7-day window, a 3-day window, 14-day window, and then ultimately a 30-day window. And if you have this number and you raise it as much as possible, you can pretty much outspend your competition and anyone else in your space. Because if you have like a ridiculously high LTV of, say, like, I don't know, $200, you can spend up to $200 just to acquire a customer, as insane as that is, right? If you're dealing in low ticket and you don't have any sort of ascensions or different like other offers, you can like menu stack. And what I mean by that is you can just say, oh, you don't want this offer? No worries. I can sell you this. You don't want this? No worries. I can sell you that. And that's all it really comes down to, right? At the core of it. So right now, the funnel and how the whole entire sales process really works with currently what we got. And don't get me wrong, right now it is a warm traffic funnel. So it's not like this generic website presence of what we're selling and offering. People can just kind of come in and self-serve. It's more so of this funnel where it's very clear in terms of what you're getting with our lead magnet, because it is a quiz funnel. And then after we ask them questions, we personalize the results for the leads that we were getting. We then present to them a soft paywall, or I'm sorry, a hard paywall. So the hard paywall basically reveals a partial snippet of what they initially came from or what they came for the quiz, right? Just a bit of their result answers so they can have something to work with, like some sort of value. And then from that, if you want to unlock the full entire result, what we do is we hard paywall them by gatekeeping the rest of the information. And then from there, hopefully we get the person to buy. Once we get the person to buy, it doesn't just stop there, because we have like order bumps, which are just like some immediate check options you can have on the checkout page. So let's say, for instance, you are selling I'm going to also reference this example later, but let's say, for instance, you are selling someone a booklet on helping your gut health improve, right? What you can do on the immediate checkout is, oh, hey, maybe you can also sell some complimentary recipes. You can also sell them something like I don't know, like a top list of the best ingredients that help your gut, right? And these are different from the core offer that you're selling people. They're complementary, and they just boost and put your initial offer on steroids because it's like a no-brainer offer. It's something that doesn't really take much effort to think about what this really is, and it's not anything insane. Like, let's say you're selling something for $20 and you make an order bump for, say, like 5, 6, 7, 8, $10. That's pretty much what it is, right? And I kind of had this mapped out in a flow just so you can look at it, and I'll kind of be walking through some of these other ones here that I got. But basically what it is just a lead magnet, low ticket offer, some order bumps, and the last thing that I mentioned is an upsell. So once the person purchases, they already did the transaction, a quick one-time offer page shows up, and we try to sell them a $100 offer. So it's very possible right off the rip we can make up to like $150 just from one customer, right? And this averages out the average order value. And what we are ultimately doing here is trying to raise as much as possible the LTV, how much these customers are ultimately worth to us. And that really just comes down to some strategic thinking in terms of like what your lead magnet is, what the low ticket offer is, what can you add as an order bump on the checkout page, and then some simple one-time offers that actually make sense. Like, okay, if they purchase this, does it make sense to give them a consultation call? We're talking about the gut health example earlier. Does it make sense to give them a consultation call, or maybe like a quick little 1-hour audit about their business? If you're selling, I don't know, some sort of like marketing offer, doesn't matter what it is. So that's what that is. And another tactic that I do to get more customers to spend more with us is what we try to do is we try to add like strategic flows and funnels within our whole entire like online business here that I'm partnered up with. So for instance, maybe you're selling a product where there is a internal portal to actually consume what the person just bought. So for instance, we're selling a consumable here. We designed a custom portal, and then inside of the portal, when they consume the product, at the very bottom of what they just consumed, because like obviously we want to provide them value, get them quickly there and actually find some sort of value from what we're providing. And then from there, we give them a simple soft call to action. Hey, would you also want this? Are you also interested in this? Something like that. And you just want to design it that is it's properly framed. So it's not like you're just trying to give them a hard immediate sell, but it's just like the natural next extension. So what we do is we use AI. So every single time a customer goes into our portal, it personalizes the call to action and the copywriting. So when the person goes in and consumes their consumable, it sounds as if it's personalized and made specifically for them. And that's a big key. When we started personalizing using their names, their information that they provided from earlier, because our AI can just like fetch and retrieve all the information in the database of purchases, what people ultimately do and feel is that, wow, this offer feels like it's perfectly made for me. Sure. And the uptake rate of that is like 50%. It's ridiculously high. It's crazy, but it works. And I was just mentioning here. So, for instance, I mentioned a similar offer before, but nonetheless, I'm just going to repeat myself. If you're selling something like probiotics to improve someone's gut health, right? The next logical step could be like an initial consultation call, like an audit on your gut health, or maybe like a visit to your clinic if you're doing this in person, right? If you're like a local business, you're selling this stuff online, you're selling it to local prospects. Hey, come in for this audit. We can do this for you, right? Something like that. And what you're doing here, like I said, you're increasing the LTV, how much these people are willing to spend with you as a whole entire business throughout their lifetime working with you. And at the end of the day, you're making more revenue from the same customers without acquiring more customers. And what you can do after, say, this initial audit, after, say, 3 days, 7 days, you can ascend them even higher into, say, like a coaching offer, a service offer, a bundled set of visits they can visit your clinic with. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just you're trying to take them to the next logical step of what makes the most sense. So for instance, if we were talking about that consultation audit, you get on the phone, you provide them the value, everything, and you just give them a soft call to action. Hey, by the way, I'm doing this bundle. Are you interested in maybe getting like 4 of these sessions for X amount of money? Would you be interested, right? And then you can just take the payment right there or just charge the card on file. And the key idea here is like with everything that I got going on here is you don't want to charge your customers, or like what I'm doing is like we try not to charge everything, like sell them like the whole entire cake on the first day. We just give them like slices of it. So the initial day we have a certain amount of money we make on average, and then within a 3 day period, 7 day period, 14 day period, 30 day period, we make more money. So for instance, someone buys a initial order from us, right? Then what we do is we try to ascend them into a mid-ticket offer. We were trying this with a high-ticket offer, mid-ticket offer, so we're just doing some split tests right now. But what we do with the low ticket offer is first off, like through the email marketing flows that we're taking these customers through, we try to make sure they actually consume the product they just purchased. Are you actually consuming it? Did you get value from it? After like 2, 3 emails of that, what we do is we try to sell them the mid-ticket product. So it's just a combination of like educating them about their pain points, about, building desires, pretty much using like copywriting frameworks like ADA to build interest, desire for what you're trying to sell, targeting their pain points, and then just pitching the product, right? Did they purchase? If yes, great. If not, what we do, we try to sell them something else. We try to sell them a downsell recurring. So it could be a subscription. We have like a AI subscription product on the back end. So if they don't want this mid-ticket offer, they get this, right? And then that's that. And like I said, the idea is not to throw everything off the bat right away and just slam in your customer's face on the first day. That's not what we're doing. We try to just give people enough time to consume, and then over, say, a 30-day period, over, say, a 60-day period, 90-day period, you just try to get the person to come back to you. Because ultimately, if you could just get this person to spend more money with you, more times with you, you can make a crap ton of money with your customers, right? And it just really takes a couple handful of customers to make a ton of money, because if they love your product, they love your brand, they trust you, they're of course going to buy more from you, right? If you go to, say, like Whole Foods, a grocery store, or whatever, how many times do you shop at these grocery stores? Probably every damn week. So these stores are making a lot of money off you because you're in proximity, you like this store, and you're deriving some sort of value from that. So it's the same thing here. It just, you have to figure out how to get these customers to come back to you. And if you have a product that is only consumed once and there's no need to ever come back for it again, you have to think of a different product or offer to make more money off your customers. And I did explain like this whole flow here just a moment ago about like the 7-day window. But one thing I didn't mention that I'm still currently experimenting is doing seasonal offers, because remember, if you have like a linear flow or just like a whole map of like different workflows and different flows someone can go through on your in the back end of your business, that's like one thing. But what about like manual campaigns or like seasonal offers? I think that's like been a recent new unlock for me. Because think about it, like back to school day is a thing. Your kid, if you have a kid and they're going back to school, that's like one thing you can promote if you have like an offer that makes sense for that. If you have something for like a national holiday, Independence Day, Christmas, Easter, whatever, you can frame products and offers around that. Or if anything, if you're like in strange niches, like if you're in spirituality, if you're in astrology, whatever, if there is like a special event happening, you can frame offers around that. If you are, say, like a seasonal business that does like grass or something like that in the summer, then what you can do is you can do like a summer special or like end of the summer special. Do you want to like buy this for next year? You can get a discount if you prepay, like stuff like that. If you do these seasonal offers, you could just honestly make these offers up, but you just want to also time it with ideas and concepts that are already familiar in your customer's mind. So if you don't really know what to do, just literally just ask Claude AI or just like ChatGPT or any of these AIs, and it can just help you brainstorm some seasonal offers and just get creative with it, because we're inventing stuff, we're using and piggybanking ideas and trends that are like in the marketplace, right? Even too with news. If you are like paying attention to news, things coming out, developments in tech or like developments in your space, whatever, you can also piggyback and ride off these developments. Like when OpenClaw was hot, everybody was doing things around OpenClaw with like the AI agent, if you're not familiar with that, right? So you can frame offers and piggyback your offers around like trends that are just going crazy. So that's another way. And for people, the other condition is for people that actually come through your funnel or to your business, whatever, and you collect their contact information. These are not ghost leads. You can still make a lot of money off these people too. And believe it or not, it's crazy, but like every single week, we have a ton of customers that spend their first dollar with us because I give them a new offer or new thing they could potentially purchase. Like, believe it or not, some people, they just don't want the free thing. They don't want like the couple dollar, like couple change, like chunk change offer you have. They don't want like the mid ticket offer. They just want the full entire package, the full $2,000, $3,000 offer you have. And that's crazy. But what we do is like we let these people know that, hey, we have this offer. Do you want this offer? Like we email market them. We tell them, we put them into different flows and funnels, and we throw events, things like that, to see whether or not these people are willing to spend. And believe it or not, people are. So what do we do? So if the person doesn't purchase the initial offer, we take them initially through a abandoned cart flow, and that could span somewhere around 7 to 10 days. After that, what we do is we try to sell the same product throughout the whole entire flow. We don't try to intermingle different products, try to get them anywhere else, or tell them like anything else going on in the back end, unless we're doing something seasonal or like a manual campaign. That's fine. But what we do is we try to track, okay, did they purchase? If yes, then we just take them to the low ticket to mid ticket or high ticket ascension funnel, where we try to sell like something more expensive. If not, what we do is we try to sell something different. So what we try to sell, and what I mean by selling something different, is that, okay, let's go back to the probiotic thing, right? Now, let's say someone didn't want the probiotics. Okay, that's fine. They don't have an issue with probiotics, but maybe they want prebiotics, right? So like the food for your gut microbiome. So instead of selling more probiotics, you sell this customer who's interested in their gut health prebiotics. So do they want this? Yes. So you'll promote it over a couple days. You'll put them into a managed cart flow. Do they want this? If not, okay, no worries. We'll try to sell this to them. Did they purchase? If yes, we try to take them into the higher ticket ascension. If not, we just try to throw them into a different funnel. And this time you could be trying to sell a community. You could try to sell a subscription. You could try to sell something high ticket. It doesn't matter what it is. You're just infinitely creating these loops, and you're trying to figure out what is someone willing to spend money with you on, right? Because think about it. Some people may want one thing, but other people just want something else. So it's really just your job to figure out what offer is actually something they're willing to buy. And just because they say no to your first offer doesn't mean they're not willing to spend money with you. So I already pretty much explained just this here verbally of what I already had written down. And really all it is pretty much as I just explained. If you take people through these different flows, if you have like a system, right? This is all just a system at the end of the day. It's not like I'm doing all this stuff manually. It's just running constantly 24/7. pretty much all automated other than like a few manual campaigns or like promotions I'll put out there just to like test and see what happens. But really all it is just offering different offers and putting people through different flows that you design for your business on the back end to get an insane high repeat purchase rate. I mean, like I said, like almost 50%, that's pretty damn crazy for like what we're doing here, but I mean, that's just the reality of just installing the proper systems and getting these people to purchase, right? You want to add some like also like gamification to the process. You want to make it fun. If this is more consumer, you want to do consumer friendly practices. Like for instance, people love freaking quizzes. If you do something that's more B2B appropriate, obviously you want to do something that's more appropriate for that space. It's really just understanding what your customer wants, what the right proper delivery vehicle is, and then from there figuring out how you can just make it as addicting as possible. Make it addicting, get these people to buy the same product more than one time, get these people to buy maybe something else if the first product doesn't sell multiple times, get these people to maybe go on a subscription or some sort of high ticket offer that you can sell. Just invent products and offers. That's all we're really doing here. We're just inventing ideas. We're testing out a bunch of experiments every single month. And at the end of the day, some are going to work, some are going to flop absolutely bad, and some of them are going to work really, really well. So we're just paying attention to the data, what's working. We're just trying different things. And at the end of the day, like you design the system once and then you just kind of monitor the progress. Depending on how much traffic and how many people are actually moving through these flows, you can get an estimate of like, or just an idea of, does this actually work? Are people converting? Are people buying? And if yes, then you just want to keep on riding that and just scaling it, right? That's what we're trying to do right now. But at the same time, we're also trying to find offers that are just like insanely high converting. So that's also like another thing. It's just really just experimentation at the end of the day. That'll be all for the video. This is pretty much how you can get up to 50% of every single customer that comes through your door and spends money with you at least once to buy again. It's a simple, stupid tactic. This is all we really do. It's just literally offering them different offers, more asking more times for the sale, and just inventing different offers that actually may make sense for them to purchase. So thanks for watching. See you in another one.